Hi Mum! You do everything for everyone else. Let me help you make your life easier. Quick, short information to make you empowered and remind you why you are so important. Because if you don't know what's on the menu, how can you choose what's right for you? Hi, I'm Alina, Director of my private practice Supportive Therapy, an everyday Aussie mum trying not to lose my biscuits at my kids. As a mental health professional, I'm here to share my secrets so no other mother feels alone or powerless. Knowledge is power, and I want you to be powerful. Think of it like I'm your mindset coach through all of this. Everything is backed by science and psychology. I believe in you, and I want you to be the best version of yourself. To be happy and to feel in control, you need to be mentally strong. Hi mums, my name is Alina Bishop and this is my podcast, Mentally Strong Mums. Today is a really difficult one. It's about chronic illness. For those of you that have a chronic illness and experiencing chronic illness, it can be debilitating, it can be awful and frustrating, exhausting. And one of the hardest things is to know that I don't have control over my body. And especially when I try and do all the right things, take all the right vitamin supplements, do all the right exercises, trying to do all the right foods, and it doesn't work. It still doesn't make a difference. And this illness or whatever's going on for you, sometimes chronic pain and how that impacts you, arthritis, lower back pain, it's autoimmune diseases, chronic fatigue, all of that stuff. It is excruciating in the most awful, lonely, isolating way. And especially for women and mums, we always want to be that person. Well, we're the CEO of the household, right? Things don't generally run without us, and we want to be able to be there for our kids, be there for our partners, be there for ourselves, try and do all the stuff that we want to choose to, as well as if we want to choose to work, how that goes down as well. When you have a chronic illness, it's like everything has been taken away. Because I can't trust my body and I can't rely on my body, and even when I'm trying to be optimistic and doing all the right things, I just get knocked over again and knocked down. And it's this exhausting cycle of thinking that things, like there might be a light at the end of the tunnel, I might be able to have a good day, or I might be cured, or it's even reduced, or there's something positive in the future. But because it's chronic, it's going to come back. Whether in that moment you believe it might not, or it does. And it's that grief and sadness that's, you're living with this permanently. And there's not really a lot you can do about it in this moment. And obviously, it is really good to seek out help, holistic doctors, supplements, doing all of the right things, trying to get second, third, fourth, fifth, 8th, 10th, 12th opinions. But when you've got kids and family and trying to be the CEO, and then trying to have enough time and strength and energy for your partner, sometimes it all just feels a bit much. And especially when I get sick and tired of hearing myself complain, imagine how the other people around me feel. So it's really difficult and it's really isolating, and you've got to understand that when you do have a chronic illness or chronic pain, it's one of these things that if I feel like it's permanent, it's going to be here forever, then I don't know how I'm ever going to function or live my life, or what's the point, because everything's exhausting, everything's a hurdle, and humans need hope. So humans need hope, and humans need pleasure, and humans need joy. But if I feel a lot of my life there is no hope, there is no pleasure, and there is no joy, then it starts to then fall into that hopelessness that nothing's ever going to change. What's the point? And so it then has negative impacts on my mental health, psychological, emotional, which then flows back into physical which then reinforces the chronic illness, which is really sad, okay? So if you can understand the grief and loss process is huge. Grief and loss, I just use the 5 steps. So the first step is denial. It'll be fine. I don't have it for life. Other people have it worse than me. I shouldn't really be complaining, right? And then next is the bargaining. Bargaining is, if only I did this, or I wish I never did that, or if only I had millions to be able to get the treatment I needed, whatever that looks like, bargaining. Next one is anger. This is beep, all the swear words, beep, beep, beep. I'm angry. This is unfair. Why does this happen to me? All of that kind of stuff. The next one is then sadness. It's the sadness, the loneliness, the depression. I've lost all hope. And then after that comes acceptance. Acceptance for the way that things are. Acceptance for the life that I have. And there's also a part of that acceptance is self-forgiveness because of how you've been mean to yourself a lot of the time. And understanding that with a lot of chronic illnesses or chronic pain, every day can be excruciating. So finding little ways to be able to get hope, or being able to have a whinge without guilt, or connecting with people, finding support groups, anything that kind of makes you have a little bit of hope, that gives you a little bit of pleasure, that gives you a little bit of joy. And when you can get to the point of accepting that this is my new normal, it can also sometimes give you a bit of a freedom, because at least I can try and learn to manage what it's like. Every time I have a good day, I'm going to celebrate the good days. I'm going to try and do things that make me happy, or sit in the sun, or go and talk to friends, or be social, whatever that looks like. And my bad days, I'm just going to let my bad days be bad days. And on those bad days, giving yourself permission to be able to grieve in that moment again. Because with everything that I've trying and doing, my body won't do what I want it to do. And that's the most annoying, humiliating part, that my body won't do what I want it to do. And I'm trying it, willing it to do everything, and it's still not good enough, and I still can't get there. So any mums that are dealing with chronic illness, look after yourselves. You are not alone. It is a silent battle a lot of us face. Full transparency, I have a vaccine injury, and even though sometimes I think that everything's okay and I'm magically cured and I'm back to the way that I am, next thing you know, I'm completely knocked down on my bum. Everything is over. I can't get out of bed. I can't think. I can't concentrate. Nothing works for me anymore. And then the sadness that you feel about your hopes and dreams, how you used to be, and even some people, when I speak to them that have had a chronic illness their entire life, they're like, well, at least I know what this is, and this has always been my normal, and I've always had to manage it. And those that have developed a chronic illness later on in life, it's the grief and loss and longing for who you used to be and what my body was capable of in the past, and how I took everything for granted. And then there's that bargaining again, and I would give anything to go back to whatever, And then when the good days are good, you've got to be able to celebrate it and make the most of it. So how can you, within your life, connect with others that are going through similar situations? And when we have bad days, then we have bad days, and we are there for each other and giving each other permission to have a whinge or have a cry. Sometimes a really good strategy as well is putting up boundaries for yourself. So boundaries look like, I am upset today. I'm going to give myself 5, 10, 15 hours to grieve and be sad and to eat food or chocolate or whatever your maladaptive negative coping mechanisms are, self-sabotaging stuff. But then after that time, or I'm going to give myself the whole day to feel this way, but then after that time, a boundary is, that was my time to grieve and be sad, and now I need to be able to have, especially after that last podcast, a growth mindset, some kind of flexible growth mindset that gets me looking forward again, finding hope again. What are little things that give you pleasure and joy? Trying to do that. So having a boundary that, yes, I am allowed to be sad and I give myself permission to be sad between these times. But after that, I need to be able to have some kind of resilience and figure out what it looks like to move forward for me. Okay? If this is triggering or upsetting for anyone, please let me know, or reach out to someone, or even connect, because obviously from my own perspective, I know how hard and difficult it is, and feel like your body is betraying you, and then angry at the healthcare system because no one can fix and resolve you, and then feeling like, well, what's the point? You're on your own again. If we can actually band together to be able to connect and being open and honest about how we feel, and then sharing tips about how we do get through this or what has worked for us, and that little boundary thing works for me. So giving myself permission to be able to whinge or cry or be upset or eat a whole lot of, bad foods, or have a couple of whatever that looks like, but then being able to pick yourself up, move on the next day. Well, trying to. Okay. Well, I hope you have a great day. Look after yourself. If you are triggered, have a lot of self-care after this, or connect with someone, or even in the show notes or anything, try and write down so at least we can try and connect with each other. Oh, and I don't know if we've got a Facebook group. I don't think anyone's joined it yet. But if you are, then it would be a good start. All right. Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye. If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I want to thank you for your support. It takes me hours to research and create this for you, so I genuinely hope you enjoyed it and felt more mentally strong. If you have any suggestions or improvements, let me know, because I'm always open for criticisms. If you have found my information useful, please leave a review and subscribe. So by leaving a review, it's a value exchange. It's good karma. I value your support just as much as you value my free information. So find me on Instagram and Facebook by searching Mentally Strong Mums, and I'm Aussie, so we're spelled MUM. And then you can find heaps of resources on www.mentallystrongmums.com. And this podcast is for you. So let me know what topics you would like to see covered in future episodes. And if yourself is a professional that is working with mums and would like to be a guest to help other mums be mentally strong, I would love to support you. So message me on Instagram on Mentally Strong Mums, MUMS, all one word. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day, you beautiful mum.